Hello everyone, welcome to the very last day of 2021. I don't know about you, but for me this year seems to have just flown by in the blink of an eye. And if you are wondering who the heck I am, if you're watching me for the first time, my name is Vidya. I am a transformative life guide. I'm a spiritual doula. I facilitate people on their journeys of deep inner work, personal growth and transformation, shadow work, so that they can express and actualize themselves as fully integrated, full spectrum beings living full spectrum lives, the lives that they dream and desire of and want to bring into shape and form in this material manifest world. I'm also an entrepreneurship and business coach consultant, a specialist, as well as an intuitive and mystic. So readings are my thing. I do a variety of them, from tarot and oracle cards to Akashic records to working with gene keys. The modality I use kind of depends on what serves the client best. So that in a nutshell is kind of what I'm about. I'm a multi-potentialite, so I do bring breadth and depth of expertise and experience to what I bring, to the way I express myself in the world and the way I support and serve humanity, the collective. So here we are, and as I said, for me, the year has gone by in a blink of an eye. But if I were to, then, like many others, I have my own 3 words that I receive every year at the beginning of the year or shortly before the beginning of the year. So for this year, for 2021, I received focus, prioritize, and commit. It's taken me a little while to realize the deeper nuances beneath focus, prioritize, and commit, because like many of you, I kind of went straight to tasks first. Like, what task do I need to prioritize, and where do I need to put my focus, and what does my attention need to be? And I realized that what I really needed to do this year, and what I was guided to become aware of, is that I needed to prioritize my soul work, my sacred work in this world, focus on the activities that bring that give that shape and form, and commit to them. And so it took me a while to get there, but this is part of that awareness and me taking action on that front. So with that same spirit in mind, I decided to do what would an end of the year set of words be. And if you're so called, then you can pick your single, double, triple word set. Mine is transmutation. Surreal. This has been a rather surreal world for me, year for me, and world for me. And reclaiming, because relinquishing, I beg your pardon, it's relinquishing, because it has taken this year for me to really examine what no longer served my highest and my best, and to not just release it. Releasing is an intellectual endeavor, an intellectual activity. Relinquishing is that space of emotional release. Like we really truly let it go with grace and gratitude. And it's time for it to leave our mental, physical, and emotional bodies, and even our spiritual energies. So that is where I am now as I lean into this reading. There are 5 questions or prompts that showed up that I'm going to do, and it's mostly oracle card based. I seem to be more drawn to oracle cards than I am to tarot. So for today, it is oracle cards, and here we go. The first one that I'm drawing, and this is not just for me, I'm drawing this for us as the collective, as humanity, as we get ready to say goodbye to 2021 and welcome in 2022. So the first prompt is, what gifts or blessings did I receive in 2020? And the deck, now I don't pick the decks. Let me make that very clear. As an intuitive, the decks speak to me and say, I'm coming out to play. So the first deck that came out to play is actually called Soul Coaching by Denise Lynn. And this is for the prompt, what gifts and blessings did I receive in 2020? I'm going to take a moment to do a quick Sanskrit invocation. If you watched the Matrix movies, you will remember this at the closing as part of the credits in the 3rd movie. Here we go. I'm just calling in illumination and guidance and wisdom. Om Asato Mam Sadgamaya Tamaso Mam Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Mam Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And for added clarity, there's my Ganesha, or Big G as I like to say, call him, right there in the background. So here we go. What gifts and blessings did we receive in 2021? And I like to do this. I like to hold the card up for a little bit for you to look in at and peek into, and I trust it's not showing up reversed. And see what jumps out at you, what it evokes in you, any thoughts, any memories, any emotions, and what speaks to you from the card. You can also pause this and watch it for as long as you need to and journal around it if you'd like to do that. Light may seem rather, so I will say this. I acknowledge that 2021 has potentially not been the best year for many, many people. And it may have been an opportunity, a way to change tracks or shift into a new way of being, doing, having, experiencing for many others. So it's just where we are in our soul evolution. It's all part of what is being shown to us in order for us to up level our game, our expansion and growth game. So I would like to gently remind you that no matter how hard things seemed, somewhere, somehow, your light radiated through your life and in the world, in your communities, in your homes, in your relationships, in your professional life, in your health and vitality and well-being, in all of that, your light came through. So I invite you, encourage you, and exhort you even to take a moment to just remind yourself of the blessing of your light that actually you poured out into the world. And we're also grateful for it because we never know how far those ripples go and who it touches. So that is the gift that we all received this year, the gift of light, of allowing our light to radiate through our lives and in the world around us. Right, on to the next one, which is what clarity did we gain in this year? What veils of illusion were lifted for us? And for this, we call on Big G himself. So whispers, let's see what Lord Ganesha, Big G, I still like to call him Big G, whispered to us this past year. Almost this past year. Here we go. Ha ha ha, as one of my words. And again, pause and lean into this card for as long as you need to. Lean into colors, images, symbols, emotions, thoughts, memories, anything and everything that speaks to you. So I'm laughing because, of course, priorities, and I spoke about priorities right at the beginning. And to me, it's a little bit of a chuckle, like I said, but yes, for me, it was certainly a period of clarity. Like I really had to lean into what do I want to prioritize in my life moving forward? And as I said prior, it has been a year of relinquishing for me. And I really, one of the things I relinquished much this year, but one of the things I relinquished was actually two that I'd like to briefly let you share with you is this harebrained idea that I'm here to build a business, and I realize that I'm not here to build a business the conventional way. I'm an entrepreneur, yes. Business is one kind of entrepreneurship, but I am not meant to just focus in on one thing, like a coaching business or whatever, and build it because I'm a multi-potentialite. I need to have at least two things going on and to sort of, for me, that's offsets. One offsets the other energetically. That's what harmonizes me. And so I really had to shift into the space of, I am more of a gigger freelancer kind of a person, bringing in, it's multiple revenue streams. It's not one thing. So that was certainly something I had to learn. I can't even say I've begun to prioritize, but I was shown that needs to be part of my priority. So that clarity came through to me. And the other clarity that came through to me, and this is something that I have actually actively attempted to embody since 2017 when I got certified as a life mastery consultant, and that is that I am not a coach. And that too became clear. I'm a doula in the sense of facilitation. I'm a facilitator. I guide and I use coaching techniques, yes, but I'm not a coach per se. So I had to kind of shift that model as well. And so that was something else I relinquished. I relinquished this whole idea of I'm a life coach and transmorphed. It's much better, shifted, up leveled into the space of, yes, I'm a spiritual doula. I'm a transformative life guide. You, if you so choose to work with me, are my Edmund Hillarys. I am Tenzing Norgay. That's kind of how I see it. So that was really good clarity to receive, and it's really helping me set up my 2022 in a very, very different way. So I trust that you as well had some experiences that really clarified for you what your path ahead might look like. And it may not have been anything that you had anticipated or expected or even thought of, but that's the point of it being an illusion and that veil dropping, is that we were told, no, lean into your heart space. Don't, it's not about what you think you should be doing. It's about what you know you should be doing, because it lights you up. You are joyous when you do that. And when you when you do what you love and you love what you do, those ripples, that's when the light begins to radiate out into the world. So that was some really cool clarity to receive, and I trust you got your share of it. So that is number 2. There are always shadows to play with, right? I mean, where there is dark, there is light, and yet shadows are fun for me because it tells me that if a shadow exists, then that means there is light somewhere there beneath that, because light is necessary for shadow to exist. So what shadows did I dance with? What did I reclaim or release or reframe? And therefore, by extension, what did we as a collective, what shadows did we as a collective dance with? What did we reclaim or release or reframe? However it played out at your end. Looks like it's, all right, let's see. Yep, it's out of these 2, but tiny hands, so sometimes, yep. Oh, I love how the story is coming together. So again, as a reminder, this is the sun, but lean into the card, look at colors, symbols, numbers, and memories, thoughts, emotions that it evokes in you. Sit with it, pause this for as long as you need to, journal if you need to, or write down your immediate, reactions to it. I love this card. Just the fact that it's the sun, again, connects back to me. It says, hey, prioritize your sunlight, right? So in a way that when I talked about shadows, but we need the sun to cast a shadow. So I really feel like this is part of what clarity did I gain in leaning into our priorities. We were able to reclaim our sunlight, or perhaps for some of us, we needed, and not even just some of us, because I believe we all do this at all times. We're all in some way or the other, in some fashion or the other, dancing with both our light and our shadow, with our Jedi self and our Sith self, right? Our yin and our yang both hold the other within them. So it is, yin and yang is more masculine and feminine, so probably not the best analogy over here. We'll stick with shadow and light, right? The dark and the light. And so this to me really speaks to that for some of us, perhaps it was our prioritization, or the clarity received enabled us to see the sun that dwells within us, our own light. For others, it might have been more of the shadows came up and looked you in the eye so that you could discover the sun within you. However it played out, you got to play with the sun. The sun came and tapped you on the shoulder. So I trust that however it played out at your end, you had a chance to reclaim your light, your sunlight. You had a chance to release, reframe, relinquish the shadows that were blocking your sunlight. That's pretty cool for 2021, I will say. And it's pretty cool for times when we are still navigating this pandemic and maybe dealing with a new normal, right? Maybe reconciling and kind of beginning to see the light that the old normal is gone and we're in the process of creating a new normal. Could very well be the case. All right, what did I say I because I'd kind of written this for myself, but what did we as the collective embrace or activate? Or I suspect both of them are going to come out to play. Yes, they are. So what did we as a collective embrace in 2021? So again, hold the card up for you to lean into. Feel free to pause and just sink into it and allow it to seep into your bones, into your thoughts, memories, emotions. See what jumps out, even your intellect, maybe your imagination, your own intuition. Allow it to speak to you. Soul Star, ascend to connect with the universal mind. And of course, this is, as an intuitive, I've been saying this for a while, and 2021 adds up to the number 5, which is in Tarot the number of the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is that bridge between sort of the more esoteric domains, the more spiritual, metaphysical thoughts, beliefs, knowledge, wisdom that exists sort of in the etheric or spiritual domain, and this material domain. Some people, if you've participated or if you're part of the spiritual community, the words 3D and 5D probably showed up for you. So in a funny way, the Hierophant is 4D, the bridge between 3D and 5D. So, but 2021 being the year of the Hierophant for the collective, and synchronously, my life path is 5, so I am an embodied Hierophant, and yet my own personal year this year has been that of the Hanged Man. I've been in a state where I've been hanging upside down, so to speak, in a state of suspended stasis, watching the collective connect with their soul star, watching the collective ascend and begin to connect, or depending on where you are again in your soul evolution, connect even more with the universal mind, as the card calls it. I call it source or creatrix. I've had to just kind of hang upside down and watch you folks do this. So it's been an interesting year for certainly. I've certainly seen the collective connect, begin to kind of look around. Even the Matrix movie coming out is no coincidence in my mind. It's a synchronicity that says, hey, pay attention. There's more going on over here than what is playing out at the level of circumstance and fact. And then what did we activate? So we embraced and activated both, but I wanted to kind of speak to both cards. Again, I kind of see it as, let me just hold it out before I start talking. So it's kind of synchronous that my jewelry and my cards, I'm literally wearing a mala, a necklace. Mala is the Hindi and or Sanskrit word. In Tamil, my mother tongue, we say malay, so it's all the same. That sort of almost matches, almost identical to this. So great synchronicity there, and it says breathe deeply and chant to awaken the soul. So again, I suspect that many of us have been leaning into meditation, into breath work. We've been looking at, again, our lives, our priorities, our light, looking for clarity, looking for guidance on what it is that we are here to do, who we are here to be. And if that is indeed the case, then these two cards will resonate with you, because this is what you embraced. You embraced your soul star and you activated your awakening by doing so. So that's what these cards say to me. And finally, this is one of my favorite decks, by the way. Just as FYI, these two cards are from the Seeds of Shakti Oracle. This is one of my favorite decks because as someone with teeny tiny hands, I love how easily and comfortably they fit in my hand. So that's one of the cool things about this deck. So moving on to what did we as a collective manifest in 2021. And I love this because it's from the Audacious Action Angels oracle. Like, I trust that whatever we manifested, there was some audacity and bodaciousness around it. And oh, again, pink. Today is definitely a pink letter day. Pink and blue, apparently pink, blue, and the sort of turquoisey green apparently is the leitmotif for today. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Leitmotif. If I say it the French way, it'll probably be leitmotif. So, what did we as a collective manifest this year? Let us see. And all right, this one just made me laugh, so I'll hold it out for you and see what you receive out of it. Alrighty, grape stomping. And honestly, I connect this back to sort of that space of dancing with our shadows, like, or even our priorities. Like, we had to stomp a few things and sort of crush them into oblivion in order to distill, in order to get the juice out of it, right? Stomp those grapes in order to get the juice, and then perhaps in 2022 we'll be fermenting them into some quality wine. We got the grapes off the vines so that we can get the stump on them and get the juice out of them, and then distill them into quality wine. So, wow, it's I don't know what you've been stomping at your end, but yeah, I kind of had to do a fair amount of grape stomping on my various activities and to really kind of converge all these ideas buzzing around in my mind and to really kind of hone into them and prioritize them, to kind of see which one actually, or which of them actually. So it's almost like I had to pull them into my heart space. And it's kind of like that's the prism. So they come into that heart space where the prism is. And then from there, they then come out, in whatever it could be, rainbow colors. In my case, I really just see it as 3 colors. It's a trifecta or a troika. It's my troika because it's going to take me somewhere. I had to do that. I had to stomp on my many, many, many grapes, and I like to play with a lot of grapes. It usually it's like, oh, I could do this, and oh, I could do that. It's my creative zone. My mind is buzzing with a truckload of ideas at any time. And it was really all about saying, hey, hold on, ideas are great, but now be purposeful with them. Stomp the ones that'll give you the juice. Like, really pick the juicy ones so that you can then go on to make some quality wine. That is what it's been. And it has been a year of that for me, for sure, including an out of the blue, unexpected 1-week trip to Dakar. If you told me in January of 2021 that I would be traveling to a different continent during the pandemic, for a 1-week trip to transmute some of my past lifetimes, and the wounding that came with it, and to heal those shadows, and to come back and step into 2022 with this absolutely new phase of life. Either someone's tickling my nose because I don't have hair long enough to do that, or it's allergy season and I'm feeling that. So excuse me while I keep punching with my nose over here because I'm like, what is that? And so, I would not have believed it. So it has been, at least like I said, for me, a year of transmutation. It has certainly been a surreal year. It has been a year of relinquishing. And for us as a collective, it has been a year of being shown our light, the clarity of prioritization, reclaiming our sunlight, or releasing, reframing, relinquishing our shadows that were blocking our own personal sun, our personal sunlight. embracing and activating, embracing our soul selves, embracing the our soul star, and sort of embracing the path of ascending spirituality, ascension growth, spiritual growth more so than personal development, and therefore being activated in the process and awakened in the process. And so we may have leaned into breath work, into meditation, into chanting. I know I chant. Oh my God, you heard me chanting at the beginning, and that was all this year. This year my voice has really been I've been asked to open up my voice and do a lot more chanting and even some singing, but more chanting than anything else. And finally, we manifested a truckload of grape stomping. We've been asked to really look at picking the juicy parts and pieces of our lives so that we can then stomp on them to get the juice out of them to go on and create some fabulous wine. And it is the night for bubbly, isn't it? So here's wishing you all a fantabulous close to 2021. Happy 2022. May it be one that is joyous, prosperous, bountiful, healthy, and clear for all of us. Until next time, adios. You can leave me a message, a comment. This is going to go on my Facebook business page. It'll be on my YouTube channel as well. I